Hi, everybody. How's it going tonight? Who is doing a project this weekend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Really? Come on. Put up your hands if you're doing a project. All right, good. All right, put up your hands if you're out there in the virtual world doing a project. I can't see you anyway. Sorry. But good luck on all of your projects this weekend. I'm very excited about them. I had a call from some students that are doing a project, and they were like, "What can we do? What kind of ideas you have?" And about an hour and a half later, we had 6 really cool things. I'm like, "Okay, start all 6 of those businesses, please." And it was exciting. I think they're going to be entering, so hopefully they'll give you a run for money. Look, I'm here to do 2 things tonight. First, I'm going to report on our status as a community, as the Baseline Protocol community that we have been at for 2 years, and celebrate where we have come together. And second, I'm going to present to you the first of several projects and products, businesses that Consensus Mesh, the company I work for, will be putting out that I think really make the point of baselining, why it's important and why it's going to be a big deal, why it already is making a difference for the rise of verified multi-party workflows, really for the rise of collaboration without having to go full Monty on all of our data with our counterparties, right? And that's really the neat trick that we're trying to deal with. We want to control our information, but we also want to share our information with appropriate parties under the right conditions, and we don't want to have to do that the way we've been doing it up until now, handing it all over to some giant shared threat surface or handing it over to a SaaS or a cloud or something like that, right? So we want to do it differently, but we have these needs. We need to do things that make sense, and one of the things that makes sense is if you have sensitive private information, you need to share it with the right people, and you want it to be verified, but you don't want to have it blasted all over hell and gone. That's what baselining is all about. And in effect, really what it's about is the rise of, what baseline is about, to me, is about the rise of verified workflows under zero knowledge. So it's the rise of zero knowledge, the rise of verified credentials, digital identities, and some blockchain into the everyday part of our lives as IT professionals. That's what baselining really, to me, is all about. I hope you agree. I think that as we do that, we're just following the footsteps of venerable projects like, and offerings like RSA, like the venerable hash, and things that are miraculous, but a little bit boring, that just get done, that get used by any common sense developer that is working in any important piece of work, right? Where's the hype cycle for the hash, for the lowly hash? It seems to me that it should have been a Gartner hype cycle for the hash, for RSA, right? For good security. Where were those hype cycles, right? And that hype cycle thing is going to be a theme in a second. So we hope the same happens with baselining, that we become just part of the foundation of how things work in modern society. And if you think about it, it's a pretty neat trick, right? To be able to share, but not share, to be able to have a decentralized system, but also not become, as often people, I've said before, just throw your data into, throw your data naked and into Burning Man, right? That's fun for some things, but not for companies. So what is baselining? Actually, I was going to show the little bit video, but who has not seen the little bit video yet? Should I show the video? Does that even work on this format? Can I show the video? All right, I'll give it a shot, if I can find it. Little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I really love Little Bit. If I can get it to work. I might not be able to. There we go. Does that work? Can you see it? Uh-oh, not sure it works. Nah, you're not seeing it. I'm going to move on from that. I think everybody who hasn't seen it, just look up Little Bit Baseline Protocol on YouTube, and you'll get it. So, I mean, what baselining is and what it's all about, several speakers are going to be talking about tonight. We started with almost no companies. We had 3 companies. We have Paul Brody back there from Ernst & Young. Paul and I and York Rhodes from Microsoft, and Nick Criticos. Well, we're at a lunch in New York City 2 or 3 years ago, and you know, we decided to just Paul just called up a couple of weeks later and said, let's do something. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? And I don't know, like something. And you know, Paul's a person of action, so we really got going on something, and that's one thing led to another. Baseline Protocol came out of it. But now we have over 1,000 people, over hundreds of companies that are involved, and those are just the people we know about. Every day I get somebody telling me, oh, I'm really into baseline. And I'm like, yeah, well, why aren't you in the meetings, man? So that's my story, my question to anybody who's been getting interested in baseline. Show up, get involved, be part of the community, get on the Slack, get in the meetings. We have a new sign-up system. It's still getting bugs worked out, but it works. You can go right onto baseline-protocol.org, and you can get into the sign-ups and sign up for being a core dev. Who'd like to be a core dev? Everyone raise your hand. All right, see, everyone raised their hand. See, that's proof that everybody wants to be a core dev. You can stand for elections. So 21 people are standing for election of 11 seats into the technical steering committee. That's awesome. I really had no idea that we would have that many, and it's a testament to the work of folks like Claudia and Sonal and others who are making sure that the elections go well. And I have some exciting news. Yesterday, we ratified the standard. The standard has been ratified by the TSC. It is on its way to this personage here, Dan Burnett, the head of the Project Governance Board, and also the head of the EEA. If you didn't know, Baseline Protocol is an EEA community project, and in association with and run by OASIS, the venerable standards body, not the blockchain project. And this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. I don't know if you've read the thing yet. And great kudos to Anna Isofrank and Andreas Freund and Mehran Chakri from SAP and so many other people that read it, that wrote it, that edited it, and that made it work. Also, I should say our sponsors and friends at Provide for doing a heck of a lot of work on the API. So good, congratulations on all of that. We are now officially boring. And that's a good thing. As we know, what is our watchword? Boring is the new exciting. And that is exactly what we've done. That document is a masterpiece of boringness. And it is actually so beautiful. And now that it's ratified, I've promised to do this, and I'm almost regretting it, but I'm going to do an ASMR recording of it. Requirement number 5. So we will have a recording of the entire standard read into a microphone in an ASMR way so that people can go to sleep listening to the baseline standard. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do it. It is a very long document. But anyway, congratulations to the team. We have made a major milestone. So awesome. Let me go back to my slideshow here. So the standard's been ratified. Tools are maturing. You just saw some. More are coming. Make some, build some. Splunk is out there. I think that Splunk is going to be huge in this, right? They're already integrated. People. What did you say earlier today, Nate? Get splunked is a phrase, right? You want to splunk your SAP system. We also want to baseline the system, right? So Splunk and baseline seems like a pretty good combination. So the tools are maturing. And also common sense use cases are rising. You've heard about Coke, you've heard about ServiceNow. It's frustrating, but there are some things that I can't, that they're just chickens. They're not coming out and like Coke or Coke One North America did, where they're actually talking about the work in the beginning. I'd say if a big company like that can do it, anybody can. But there are some major organizations, entities, government type organizations, and major firms that are working on baseline projects. And I'm very hopeful about them because baselining just makes sense, right? It's not like it's gonna get stuck in POC hell forever because it makes sense. It makes sense to IT people, it makes sense to CISOs, it makes sense to the CTO, the CIO, and you're not gonna experience, I hope, the kind of experience I had when we started blockchain in the enterprise 5-6 years ago, where we delivered this beautiful blockchain, a private blockchain project to the head of department at a major bank, very proudly presented it. We did such a great job, looked at it and went, thank you. I've already got one of those. And that was the end of that project, right? So at least we don't have to get stuck in POC hell. It's on you guys to do great work and to solve this magical problem, sharing while also not throwing things to the wind. So now I'm going to talk about something completely different, a use case I can talk about. NFTs have come to the baseline protocol. And you're going, what? I thought this was an enterprise thing. It is, but in a fever dream, we figured out how to do NFTs with Baseline and Base Ledger, and we'll talk about it. And right now, this is the world premiere of NFTs on Baseline. Now, let's get real about NFTs for a second. NFTs, what is the elephant in the room? The emperor's penguin's clothes, if you will, of NFTs, right? What is it? Well, of course, it's that you want to share your NFT, so you put it on IPFS, but then it's made out of ones and zeros, right? So what have you really purchased for your $68 million? A receipt that says you purchased something for $68 million, and it has an address that anybody can go to, download, and make another NFT. And also, by the way, if you violated copyright or licensing on that image, and somebody tries to do a cease and desist on you, it's on IPFS. Think about that for a second. Interesting problem, right? How long, because you can't take it down. They say cease and desist, you say, I can't cease or desist. It's up there forever. I don't know that I would want to be on the other end of that problem. So there are problems with NFTs. And I don't mean to say that NFTs are a bad idea. I'm just saying that in the current state, this Gen Xer doesn't get it quite, that I'm gonna buy something that I cannot control, because if you think about it, it's not like your Rolex. Your Rolex has atoms. It is unique by design, and it's a masterpiece of engineering, right? Of design and engineering, and you have it, and okay, so you have flex, but you also have a piece of work, a piece of art that is unique, that you can control, and that is exclusive to you. Wouldn't it be nice if you can have that for ones and zeros? All you really have with the current state of NFTs is a receipt that is unique and exclusive and controlled by you, but you don't have what if the actual art could be as well? And that is the conundrum that I think is interesting. So you have these great people out there that want to support the artists. They're willing to pay. They've got the means and the appreciation to pay huge sums of money sometimes to support this artist. But why don't we just say that? Why don't we just say, oh, great, I'm a patron of this artist. I just gave them a lot of money to patronize them, to support them. Why do we turn it into an ownership thing? Well, it's because there's something to that, right? If you're a collector, you want something that you can control, that you can possess, that you can own. And here's the punchline, and also to share. What does that sound like? Same problem, right? It's the baseline problem. I want to control it, I want to possess it, I want to own it. It needs to be exclusive, but I also want to be able to share it. So, tree trunk, the NFT, tree trunk NFT is now treetrunk.io. You can go there right now. It's very minimal. I'm going to show you a tech demo. This is not a drop. This is not a release. This is not a product yet. It is a tech demo. And we thought it would be a good thing to show to a hackathon full of developers so that you guys can tear it apart and tell us why this is dumb so that we can then decide whether we're going to actually release it. So the project for the weekend, if you care to meet it, is to show us why this won't work. The story is, hey, you're unique. Own it. Which, by the way, I think is a pretty good slogan. Create and own private, exclusive, original art. Make unique signed and numbered prints and build a royalties empire. That's what we're going to offer. Now here's how it works. Cryptolithography is what we're calling this, and it's the basis of the TT-NFT. You make art, not just the token, but the art itself, verifiably unique and exclusively owned. What the file looks like, here's the Mona Lisa in the matrix of 1s and 0s. That's on the right, that's what it looks like, right? So, art files can look the same while having different files with different 1s and 0s, slightly different 1s and 0s. So you'll see those red dots, those are flips from 1 to 0 or 0 to 1. So here's the trick to the tree trunk NFT. You make a replica of the original, but flip some bits. You can prove then, you put a proofer that shows that it's a child of the parent. Everybody with me so far? And then you prove it without revealing it, the original, to anyone. And then you can prove with another technique that you didn't copy the bits before you sold them. It's in, I can prove that what's in this hidden box looks like this public file and is the original that was used to generate the public file, but is not the public file. No one ever sees your exclusive, unique, controlled, owned art, but you can transfer it to somebody, right? You can prove things about it, but nobody ever gets a hold of those 1s and 0s. They are unique and hidden. And there's a lot of mystique, I think, that you could put in that, right? So first thing you do is you baseline the original. The original art goes into a ZK circuit that we've designed. Andreas Freund is one of the authors of that. And the ZK proof goes into base ledger. And then the base ledger location goes into the NFT, not the IPFS location. The actual file we call a root file, which is considered the original right now. You've taken the original and thrown that away. That one's garbage. Now you have a secret set of 1s and 0s, which, by the way, you could delete, you could kill it, you could destroy it. Just like in lithography, if you've ever done lithographic signed numbered prints, sometimes you'll see a video or a picture of the artist destroying the plates that were used to make the prints, thereby suggesting that you have a limited edition, right? So you could just destroy the print. The only thing you've done is make it impossible to generate any more prints, right? But all the children prints that you made are still valid. They can be proven to be a child of the original, which I think is kind of a cool idea. You can make signed numbered prints from that, which can be public and absolutely go on IPFS. And you kind of want one at least to be on IPFS so that everybody can see and enjoy the art. But again, not the original file. It's a different set of 1s and 0s. Or you can make those private too, and you just recursively done what you did with the original root. So why is this cool? Because of this. If you can do signed numbered prints, you can do this. You can print your museum piece, you can print your private prints, you can print your public prints, and you can have lineages. This lineage, what if we, and we're going to do this, by the way, what if you had like a chat system that you could, everybody who is a child of the root gets to be part of in a channel, but also everybody in this pathway is in their own private channel. What if, I don't know, Beyonce bought this one? Now you're in a private channel with Beyonce. That's cool. I like that idea. So it creates community. Joe Lubin really had this thought that this is a way of constructing communities of interest around specific pieces of work. And you all have a reason to support the work because you want more people buying these children. That's a terrible way to put that. I'm going to see the point. So now you've got this, and this is just illustrative, right? But you have inclusiveness because somebody who doesn't have a lot of money can buy this one. And somebody with a whole lot of money really wants this one because of the royalty flows that are coming up through that channel. And if you are the owner, if you're the creator, does this not look like a better business model for creators than just riding a hype wave that's going to die out because everything like this dies out? The App Store, the original metaverse thing, remember Second Life? These kinds of hype waves definitely die down. And when it dies down, what you want to have lasting is a business model like this, where you effectively have multi-level marketing and support for the artist in a way that they don't have today. Imogen Heap in 2015 famously went direct with her customers, right? Cutting out the middleman of royalty stream. But that was still just one step. This pays forever. Whenever any of the children tokens are sold, Imogen Heap would get paid every time. I like this. And everybody that helped that happen down here, all the way up, they got some royalties too. I like that a lot. Not so good for selling soap, but great for art. Anybody that gets that reference, you get it. Tree trunk NFT, the demo. Do we have time for the demo, Kyle, or shall we do it later? Are you serious? Just a couple minutes. I can do 2 minutes if I can get out of this. I gotta just hang on for a second. What do you guys think of that? Pretty good? All right. So I'm going to make the first NFT this way. I am going to, Emilio, the Emperor's Clothes Penguin, is going to come over here. Ruh-roh. Hang on. I might need to screen share. I'll just screen share desktop. Okay. So now I've pulled the what I did before that you didn't see was I pulled the picture into this file. I'm going to create the root original. So now it's going to upload the image. It's saving the data. And this is a demo, a tech demo. So this would be now going into end-to-end encryption and going into an EDV, a data vault that you control. So we can't rug pull you. It would be like on your ledger or any kind of storage that is TE. And it doesn't have to be that way. You could just make it encrypted so that your token is the only way to unencrypt it. But this would be, in a EDV would be even more powerful, right? Because then there's just no way to get down into that thing. I'm going to mint it. Hey, MetaMask, a little plug for my company there, or my sister company, I should say. Now we're going to download that proof. Now in this case, that proof would go onto Base Ledger, but we didn't have time to get to that step, so we didn't do that. And in the interest of time, I could go, this is going to take a while to go through. If anybody would like to see the demo in person, I'll do it later, but I don't want to take too much time away from you're good? Okay. So create first print now. So now we've got the baseline proof and we have the address of the contract. This is real. And we're going to create the first print. So it's creating the print, minting it, generating a print proof, which I can get. So there's my, my print proof. It's pulling it off of IPFS. In this case, we went straight to the public. And then we're going to mint that print. In this case, we're only minting one print. We did this in under 2 weeks, by the way. We wrote this code in 2 weeks. So now we've mint the print, and success. Okay, there we go. It's not the best UI, but it's pretty good, I think. Again, tech demo, not a product yet. So now we're going to verify it. So I'm going to pull the file over. I'm going to put the proof in. And I'm going to put the file in. I'm going to put the wrong file in. And I'm going to put uh-oh. There we go. This should, unless I might have goofed this up. Yeah, not verified. Wrong picture. Right? I think you get the rest of it, right? So I'll stop there. That's the end of the demo. And I'll just go back very quickly and wrap things up. What are the capabilities and limitations of this thing? So you can create cryptolithographs of art, music, and similar files. And you can use the process on a file, but you can't use it on a file where changing any of the ones and zeros would destroy the file. So there's certain kinds of files this would work for. You can use the process to create novel business models and game logic. Think about like a vampire game where you need to prove that you're all part of the same, hidden vampire family, I guess, something like that. But you can't walk back a leak of the root file. If you leak the root file, you can't restore exclusivity. You don't know if somebody didn't copy the ones and zeros, right? You can improve royalties and affiliate marketing and tracking and settlement and run lineage royalties, but you can't run lineage royalties on a mainnet without breaking the bank. So this really does require an L2. Fortunately, we know a few, right? Matic and even Base Ledger is a kind of L2, so interesting. And finally, what else can you do with this? You can make high-stake games, where small differences can create big effects, where nobody should ever see the file, the platform shouldn't see the file. You could surprise yourself. You could, like little tiny differences in some attribute, like your magic casting capability, one tiny little digit change over your other family members, and the magic would be completely different or something more powerful or different. There's all sorts of cool things, and my favorite is you don't have to sell your unique character. You can just sell prints of your character to players and then receive a percentage of winnings, which I think is kind of a cool idea. Also in industrial applications, exclusive passes, privacy preserving cross-platform fan engagement, advertising tracking, influencer marketing, supply chain documents like bombs and balls and specs, things like what my brother's into in the pharmaceutical industry. I think this is pretty cool. It's got a lot of applications. It's funny because I've been making fun of NFTs for a while, about a year, and it was my fate to kind of go, okay, but it would be cool if, right? Here, our roadmap is, right now we've just delivered the tech demo. We're gonna get feedback from devs, improve it and harden it, make it good, add key features like the minting of the lineages, the multi-level royalties, encrypted data vaults, and then finally we're gonna launch this for artists with a marketplace and an API so other marketplaces can add that feature to their marketplace. Thank you, that's all I have to say.